Yeah, Archives Work Group. We've been doing some quite cool things lately. First of all, we've built a dashboard for querying the archives corpus. Going to put a link in there and people can have a little look. But one of the core things about it, I mean, it is early days yet, but it will allow us to do some tracking of decisions. And that is what we set out to do. One of the things we set out to do this quarter. Questions like who is making the decisions and who isn't, who is making decisions that affect everyone, which work groups are those, are there differences in the decisions made by one work group about a topic and the decisions made in another work group about the same topic? Obviously, this is not to say that differences are bad, but knowing what they are can just be really interesting. So, yeah, this kind of decision management is something that we set out to look at. And when you see the dashboard, you'll start maybe if you didn't understand before why the meeting summary template asks you about decisions and asks you to pull them out and say what the rationale was and all that, you'll start to get it when you see that. We've also been doing quite a lot of work on redefining our approach to a RAG process in a record keeping context. I'd encourage people to have a look at our GitHub board on this and at our quarterly report, which is in the budget planner sheet, and look at how we're combining elements of RAG retrieval and just simple SQL database searches. Our work up till now has found that text-only retrieval, such as, just loading a GitHub Markdown into a vector store, it's produced surprisingly vague results and with quite a high likelihood of hallucinations and fabrications. So in a record keeping and archives context, maybe just a straight, use of an LLM and a RAG retrieval process isn't cutting it. So we've started to look at SQL retrieval assisted with an LLM. So that kind of means that the LLM is being used to kind of wrap the SQL content and give it a semantic presentation. And we're focusing in the coming quarter, we'll be looking at data mining using data frames in a Python workbook. So that's kind of where we're going with it. A little bit different from what we thought we would do when we set out to do a RAG retrieval process, but it's interesting. And at next week's town hall, we're going to be presenting some work about our open source ethos and how open source applies to record keeping and archiving. I know the whole question of open source kind of gets people really interested, so I hope people will be there next week at town hall to hear from us. Right, we are now coming to God, it's AI ethics, so I might as well stay off screen share and just update you on what AI Ethics Work Group has been doing. Um, we've been working on interviews this month. We've got about 27 hours of interviews complete now and, heading towards more every day. They're from a really diverse range of people. Often they're friends and family of work group members. So they're not the types of people that would attend an AI conference, for example, or whatever. So we're broadening the diversity of whose voices are getting heard in that research. So we're really chuffed about that. We also, this last month, have finished our interviewer's handbook, which I'll just drop a link to if people are interested. It's based on the training that we delivered early on in this quarter. And we're hoping that that will be used not just in the ambassadors program, but in the rest of, any other groups that are doing research for the Global AI Ethics Initiative. And then finally, we have the AI ethics survey. We've been tweaking this and working on it quite a lot. And what I'm going to drop in the chat now is actually a test version. It's got some additional questions at the end about like how easy was the survey to understand? Did it make sense? Blah, blah, blah. So everyone here, if you have a spare few minutes, could you test drive it for us before we start kind of unleashing it on the public? We would be really grateful. So I'll just put that in the chat. AI ethics survey. And yeah, if anybody fancies jumping on that and having a look at it, we would be really chuffed. All right, and also just to mention the Global AI Ethics Initiative, the link's in the calendar. It meets every other Tuesday, and it is next week, that one with Annalise Smitzman that we talked about earlier. All right, I'll go back to screen sharing and move on to LatAm and R&D. Guillermo.
Okay, hi everyone. We were discussing already before we start today's meeting with laying the challenge for the RFP grants and the efforts that the LatAm are doing, and they're going to keep doing next week as we participate on the Cardano Constitutional Convention that is going to be happening in Buenos Aires next week. That's one thing. And again, for the newcomers, that I see a lot of you guys, welcome Ese, Duke, Clement. So the RFPs slate, the RFPs have a new deadline, that's December the 8th. But now it's time for a short, I promise, short LATAM, because it had been only 25 days, and it had been a lot of work. Let me share a screen with you guys, and we go from here. So no stats from the X platform, things that have been boring from last time we presented results, but definitely it's always good to share some the results of the efforts we have been pushing for this last month. Let me see, because my system is kind of silly dumb today. There we go. Thumbs up is if you guys can see my screen, please.
Yeah, can see it.
Okay, here we go then. So with the Members Collective Initiative, we participate in two big events as we share with you as update what was going to happen in Buenos Aires. It did happen the 1st and the 2nd of November, big event, La VidConf. This was the 12th anniversary, and we were expecting to be able to participate on a stage, but for certain miscommunication, let's say, and organization, and because there was a lot of sponsors, we did lost our slot. But still, we participate. They invite us. Martin was there. People from Lemon Card, the guy on the right of the screen is my nephew, even though he looks older than me. This event was really big. A lot of developers were there. We have been onboarding people to our Telegram channel. Yeah, and always amplifying the SingularityNet now is ASI Alliance vision and mission with all the participants. We, as always, after this initiative, we write a blog that we share in our platforms. And this one, it was full of QA. We did a QA with participants. So we will keep you informed when we take that one out. We did have the third space. This was really nice and also challenging because for a bunch of us, it's not our area of expertise. Even though we read a lot of about biotech or transhumanism, it is my part of this was to talk about the RejuveAI project and the last month updates. It was really nice. We did 1 hour space. We through the analytics as today, this what it happened not even what 10, 11 days ago. It has 270 views. We discuss again a lot of topics from Ben's last book about cosmism, about well all the vision that Ben narrates on his last book about how this the AGI will impact on biotech, a lot of ethics, and we did a big window to discuss about Rejuve AI. These projects they are not pretty disclosed and discussed in LatAm or in Spanish, so we want to make our spaces a place for promoting, advertising this great project, Rejuve AI and Rejuve Bio project. Both great business model. They have a lot of updates this last month. I'm not going to lecture about that because there's a lot of people here from the Writers Work Group that can do that better, but they have achieved certain big milestones. So we have been supporting them and sharing this with the LatAm community. Next upcoming space this Thursday, and it's going to be our second ecosystem update, where we inform about all the spin-offs. We have that on the global initiative. Highly do this every month or every 2 weeks with the participation of members of the different projects, spin-offs. Peter is always there representing us. What we are trying with this, as we mentioned last time, is to have a LatAm edition of this update version. This will be the second time we do this. Let's see how it goes. But it's funny to do, and always we're experimenting with this platform, so we are doing this planning ahead of next year's initiative. The Meta Coder Lab, as I was telling Lane, is something that came up with as an initiative of the LatAm, thinking on expanding the Meta, the open code on the LatAm with universities, with startups, also with the help of Andres Suarez, that is a SNet member from the oldies, understanding the territory, the needs. So we have been working on the development, onboarding some ideas, and also new potential partners, and thinking also on and writing a proposal for the RSPs using the same concept. So yeah, we are working on the program, and we'll keep everybody updated on this. And the last thing, and it's good to see my friend Duke here. As everyone knows, the LatAm, the regional came alive as a regional expansion. That idea we share with Peter and Vani, and with Vani help, we created a concept that it was wider than just one region. It was about a global concept of how we can, impute on board with a territory meaning, with a different aspect or approach. This was taken by the African community members from the ambassadors, co-contributors, led by Duke, Ese, and Love, and other members. And we have been running in parallel since, I think, 2 quarters now. So the idea with Duke for the last couple of weeks, it has been to join in a regional retrospective. What happened, we've been doing good, wrong, and do it separately from the global program, because we have been running in parallel the same program or project. So we have been learning a lot, failing and having a lot of success. So we have already 1 meeting, and we will have a team meetings probably in the next weeks before Christmas. And we'll bring a written report or something to share with you guys about what we think we can improve. And yeah, probably something we will share with you again, probably on the first quarter. Okay, I think that's all for the LatAm. I'm gonna drop this on the chat, and on the last slide you can see the report. And on regards of the R&D,
if we
on
can
regards
move...
of the R&D, I'm going to go short.
Okay, good. Yeah, because it's just like we have got 8 more work groups to...
Yeah, sorry. So the R&D deployment is already there for database, skill database, and and core contributor dashboard. They're already working artifacts. We are So AJ worked with the onboarding guild. They did some fix and some changes suggested by the guild. We were aiming to deploy yesterday, the 25th. This probably will happen next week. So exciting news. Tools are about to come. And I think that's it, Bunny. Sorry it took so long.
No, it's fine. Let's go back to the slides and see who's next. Is there anyone here from Education Work Group? Just
Yeah,
having
I'm
a look.
here.
All right, cool. Go for it.
All right. So it's a monthly update, right? Or a weekly one?
Monthly, usually.
Okay. So from Education Guild side, we have been focusing on the initiatives that we took in this quarter, and we have like about 3 projects going on currently. Uh, One is the A for beginners that our main focus is on in this quarter and have been. And in that initiative, we are actually working on making the playlist for uh, A for beginners, basically. That's from the name itself. And yeah, we have been progressing about it for this quarter. And yeah, quite some progress has been made with some script writing and reviewing going on side by side. And now, yes, now it's kind of delving into the video production stage. And the second one is the website and wiki integration. So we are basically developing a website for the Education Guild mainly, in which we are going to be highlighting the certification program and going to be integrating it over there. So we don't have to basically use Discord for that purpose, and everybody can go over there and take part in the certification program. And basically that will make it go live publicly as well. And of course, people will be able to track their progress over there the same way they do right now as well. The third one is the certification program itself. Certification program is going to be ending in about 4 days, which is going to be um, at the end of November. And right now we have about 51 submissions from the 17 classroom. That means 51 quizzes got attempted. And with about 20 to 25 contributors range. So yeah, currently we have a leaderboard as well. I think Onise is the one who is leading the leaderboard right currently, with others following up as well as the time comes to a close. And yeah, that's kind of the update from the Education Guild side. Yeah, that'd be it. Thank you.
Cheers, Slate. That was great. And just to say, actually, if you're newly a core contributor, now it's been recalculated, you can just now jump in there and do the certification program because it's being tested just on core contributors. I think I'm right. Is there anyone here from AI Sandbox and Think Tank? Just looking to see who's here, actually. I can't see Onyeka and I can't. Oh, Vasu, were you here? Oh, I think he's jumped off. That's a bit of a shame. All right, let's go on to Gamers Guild. Anyone from Gamers? Slate, can you give an update or?
Yeah, sure. So in this one month, we basically were wrapping up some of the stuff, the developments that we have been doing so far in the quarter, mainly coming in the well, basically most of the updates are from the development side. So we are basically adding some things inside of the main game, which would include the spawning VFX and of course the main thing that got added in this quarter and which was basically being worked on from the previous quarter as well, and that is the intercom system. So what that would do is if any guild or work group is basically wanting to host their guilds spaces or guild meetings inside of the virtual reality world of Roblox, they can basically go over there and have their own 3D characters. And there will be an auditorium where they can go and host their meetings live, and everybody will be able to listen to them, whomever is going to be there currently playing the VR game. So this was one of them. And we are also developing different work groups over there as well. So the major update came from the archival work group creators. They have almost finalized their work. And of course, archival, they're going to be presenting it to the archival work group before making it go public. So that's one of the major update. And the second one is from the Treasury Guild work group creators, and they're also going towards completion. So yeah, they're basically wrapping it up, and they're also going to present the VR World Treasury Guild to the Treasury Guild work group in the master program. And there is a couple of more things that I would like. Just give me a second. Okay, so yeah, this one thing is that another thing that got added is that wherever these whole work groups and guilds are going to be placed, which is going to be the main VR map, that's also being developed. And we basically divided the VR map into 3 categories. The first one is going to be the city map, where all the players will get spawned. The second area is going to be the river. Basically, that's just for entertainment purposes. The third one is going to be the university. That's going to be the ambassador program university. So players will spawn in the city map, basically play around, get some cash, and then after that they're going to take admission in the ambassador program university, where they're going to continue getting more to interact with the work groups that are within the master program itself. So that's also being developed. Currently, we are only working on the city map. So yeah, that's halfway done, and it's also presented in the quarterly report as well. So yeah, that'd be the update from the Gamers Guild. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot for that. It sounds like you're doing loads of interesting stuff. Before I move on from this slide, I just want to check, is there anyone from AI Sandbox and Think Tank who is up for giving a quick update? Don't think there's anyone here, but okay, let's crack on. And we can take marketing, writers and videos separately or together. Is there anybody who would like to give an update? I'm seeing Essie in the house. I don't know if you're up for talking about marketing.
Hi everyone.
Sorry, was that a yes or a no? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, it's a yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, so for marketing guild, what we've been able to achieve, we're able to complete the mascot initiative, and we got the community to vote. So the winner will be announced, or it should be announced today. If it's not announced today, then it will be announced tomorrow. And it's really interesting to see the mascots that actually won. Okay, it has been announced, yeah. So we have a new SingularityNet mascot, which is super cute. And from that, we'll be building some comics around it to help people understand SingularityNet in a not so complex way. We also put out we also had like series of spotlighting for community, for core contributors, and also the guild spotlight. So we'll be having African guild spotlights go out. in a couple of days, and we also have an individual spotlight as well. We also have the Zilly campaign, which is now up and running, and it's a UGC campaign that would enable people that's not in the community to talk about SingularityNet with their accounts, and also people in the community as well, and help to spread the word about SingularityNet and increase visibility, and also get more people to join the SingularityNet ecosystem. As we all know, we have a whole lot of things going on currently, and it would be like great for us to have these words go out and being spread by multiple accounts until we achieve the visibility that we actually want. Also, we had like a bit of internal discussions on how to increase engagements and postings on our social platform, which has been going great. If you look at our recent posts, you'd see that the number of engagements has been popping up, and we've been helping other guilds and work groups to post about what they are doing, and also get tractions to that as well. And the content calendar to synchronize all work groups has been achieved, and everybody has been using that to have like a seamless posting. Then the brand guideline, the graphics team has also been helping work groups to achieve consistency with what we post on our social platform to ensure that brand consistency is being met. Yeah, I think that's about it. From top of my head, I wasn't the one that was supposed to take this, but yeah, those are like some of the things that we're able to achieve in the month of November.
Thanks a million, Esther. That was amazing off the top of your head. But God, marketing's been busy. Fantastic. Is there anyone here from Writers who is up for giving a quick few words? I don't think there is, but just checking.
Yeah, I think I can just give a quick update.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, so for the month of November, we've been focusing on how we can leverage more Web3 publishing tools, because we noticed that our Medium page is gaining more traction, and they're already like bringing ads for us to monetize our Medium. So we are doing research on other Web3 publishing tools that we can use to push out our contents, and these tools include platforms like Lens, Paragraph, Miro, Webcast, and some other tools. Speaking of deliverables, we started our ecosystem, that is XNet's ecosystem digest newsletter publication this month also. And before then, we had around 40 subscribers on Substack, and now we have around 52 subscribers on Substack. Then the ecosystem page that is for Medium, for the month of November, we published 3 articles which amassed 770 views and a total of 328 reads, and it has 325 subscribers. That's total number of subscribers. Then for Zilly, we had two Zilly sessions in the month of November, which had a total number of 37 sprinters, that is Zilly, like the players. And for the community page, we published 2 articles in the month of November, which amassed 52 views with 24 reads, and the page has 154 subscribers at the time of making this report. So that's all from my end.
Thanks a lot, CJ Frankie. That was great.
Yeah,
Um, Is there anyone here who can give an update for video work group?
Hi guys.
Hi.
We really didn't plan a lot of speech today, but I think I'll just do a brief one on this. So basically, the video work group has been not really been involved in much, but just seeing how we can do our own part on creating our content and putting out the town halls and other video content out there. We're still looking on working on the accounts, the Mastodon account, and we're seeing how we can gain tractions for all our um, social media platforms and see how we could work with it. So that's basically just what we have to really work with.
All right, thanks for that. I know it's a bit awkward when you get jumped on unexpectedly to give an update, but that's brilliant. And last but not least, we've got African Guild.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, very clearly.
Okay, so it's been quite an engaging month for us on the African Guild side of things. First of all, we just completed our tooling research on the indigenous tooling for Africa. Yes, so we've been building from the the outputs of the Ubuntu and AI, that we had in collaboration with the AI Ethics Work Group, and we're looking to bring in something really tangible into the public space, so people can get to not just engage in conversations, but see products of engaging these conversations. And then we've had three-fold research in that, and then maybe I can't get the links here, but maybe we'll get to share it on the channel for everyone to get to look at it as well. And then we hope that the tooling comes to fruition. Yeah, and then very importantly, we're going to be having our Ask Me Anything session. That's AMA session on Thursday, 29th, or Friday, 29th, yeah. So we're going to be discussing how we're trying to change the narrative of Africa, being on the sidelines with AI. And then we're trying to see how we can put Africa in the forefront of AI conversations as well. And our topic is really going to revolve around, AI solutions, where and how to begin with Africa's perspective and what Africans need to do for Africa's growth within the context of AI. I know this is sounding really Africanish, but I mean, everyone else is welcome to share. It's important that you get to understand diverse perspective. And then even as non-Africans, it's nice to see things from other person's perspective, grows your whole knowledge base. And we're going to be giving out 100 AJX tokens for people who participate well. So you might just want to come have your share of that. And we've had lots of participants. We've had over 80 registrations so far. So it's going to be massive. And then we look forward to everyone else joining us on the program. I'm going to be sharing the link in the chat, the Loma link now. So if you haven't registered, you go there, register, and be part of something really huge. Thursday, 29th. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh, that sounds really exciting. Look forward to being there on the 29th.
Yeah, the link is in the chat. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot. All right, well, that I think brings us to the end of work group updates, and we have got like 5 or 6 minutes left. So, open round, is there anybody who is new here and fancies introducing themselves? Or Essa, you've got a hand up, go for it.
Yeah, Comment forgot to add that we have the ASI Alliance DIY creative contest that's ongoing in the African Guild. So anyone that's interested in participating. So basically what it's about is for you to express what ASI Alliance means to you in the African context. So it's a creative way of getting people to know about what is super complex in a way that they can actually understand and embrace and also participate in it. We've had a couple of entries and we are still expecting more to join in. So we are expecting everybody to join in and participate. It's fun. It's not really about the reward, it's about learning in a different style, which is a fun-filled style. Yeah.
Nice one. I've been seeing the publicity about that, and it does sound like a good fun. I can see in the chat, Kevin, you were saying that you were up for saying a few words about the Ecosystem Festival.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I've been struggling to figure out how to describe it, so I'll just say this right now. It was hands down probably one of the most inspiring events or weeks I've had in my entire life. It was just absolutely incredible. I was not the only part of the ambassador program there. I got to meet Vasu and Ubio from over at Deep Funding, but the nice thing about it was I got to meet everyone. I kind of booked a last minute trip. 6 hours before I flew to Bangkok, I bought my ticket and I didn't really know what I was going into. So I had all these feelings and the trepidation, like, should I be going? Should I not? And it was hands down the best decision I may have ever made in my life, because I got there and, the first night I just did a little exploration in Bangkok, but the day of the festival, it started off on the schedule. There was early morning yoga. And not knowing anything, I'm like, well, I flew here for this. I might as well go to all the events. So I found my way into the hotel, and we went up to the top floor where they were having early morning yoga. And I was given the best treat because Kennedy Shah, the CEO of Rejuve Biotech, was the one running early morning yoga. And she got to be my instructor. And I met a couple other people there, and it was just an incredible start to a fantastic few days there. And I got to sit down and talk with her, and everyone was extremely welcoming. They were very happy to hear my story. They thanked, for being part of the ambassador program, and asked about the program. And then we broke. I went back to the shower, and I came back for the meat and potatoes of the event, which was kicked off by Ben Gertzel. And I sat front row, front and center, and got to listen to one of the most. I mean, you talk about going down a rabbit hole. Listen to Ben Gertzel in person for a while, and your mind will never be the same again, because he is genuinely capable of explaining very high-level concepts in digestible bits to where even people without a programming background like me can really understand where the ecosystem is going, what he's trying to create, the intent behind it, the various partnerships, and he delivers it in such an eloquent way that it makes you feel so good about where humanity could possibly be going if we get this AGI thing correctly. At the same time, there's so many fantastically big concepts. At the end of the speech, I had to walk out of the room, and I went out to meet Vasu, and I'm so glad I did, because the next most inspiring thing happened to me, where I walked out and Desdemona the robot was being set up, and because I had walked out to meet him and everyone was still in the getting ready for the next speaker, we were the only ones out in the hall, and I got to spend about 15 or 20 minutes just talking to Desdemona, asking her about herself. I mean, I sent the video to Vasu. There's about 10 or 15 minutes of video content around this. And it was just one of the most, I was awestruck. I didn't know how to, I was talking to a robot about myself, about what I'm doing, about the ambassador program. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I got to meet Niles. He was the gentleman who was chaperoning Desdemona. He was happy to sit down and talk to us and explain things, and just so welcoming in offering this opportunity to us, that it gave me such a good feeling about where the ecosystem is headed. I mean, if these are the individuals that are so welcoming and happy to bring us into it and explain just high level things or low level things, or just talk about life, like, these are the people you want to be involved with, and I am so happy the way they welcome me in. And right after that, I got to meet our glorious leader, Peter Elfrink. Right as him and Jan Horlings gave a speech about deep funding afterwards, I got to meet Jan. Jan introduced me to Jasmine Smith, who's the CEO of Rejuve AI. And I can go on and on. I mean, they were just so incredibly welcoming to have people from the ambassador program attending, and we're just so open about the attendance and what we're doing. It made me feel incredible. I got to sit down with Rui, who is the CEO of Mindplex. Got to talk to him about what he's doing over there. And it looks like they're going to be looking to create their own ambassador program, which we had a large conversation around. And there's going to be more to come on that down the line. And that was just day one. I don't even think I hit everything, because I got to sit through the speakers, the CEO of Singularity Finance and Sophia Verse had their tech guy there. And I'm not trying, I apologize for missing the names, but there was just so much. And it was so fantastic. It's almost like information overload, but I was like, you know, a kid in a candy store almost with all this going on.
It sounds like you had an amazing time. I'm just noting that we're close to the end, and Colleen's got a hand up with a question for you.
Sure.
Hi, Kevin. Like I said in the chat, I'm really glad that you were able to go there. And just as a side note for the AI ethics work group update as well, being the community events manager, a newly appointed position that I am working on a list to figure out what events the ambassadors could possibly attend next year worldwide, and then be able to send a few ambassadors to some of those events. So I just wanted to let people know that that is in the works. So I'm really glad you got to go.
Fantastic. Yeah, any help future events would be help on the expense side. And I'm only going to say this because I want to state how valuable this experience is to me. I think it probably cost me a little over $3,000 to do this, and I will say hands down it was the best investment I've ever made personally, for my spirit, for everything. So it's worth it. Being able to get there in front of people is just it changes the dynamic of what we're doing. And maybe next week I can talk about the ASI festival with Ocean and all that, because that was day 2, where I got to talk to Desmona again.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Wonderful.
Great. Vasu, go for it.
Yeah, Colin was speaking about any future events. Basically, we're gonna have an event, as I've already told you guys, like about the global blockchain show I'm gonna be in, and now they have been executed as basically we're gonna have COO Janet Adams there too as a speaker, and we're gonna have Singularity DAO speaker too. So at first they were like, this was just gonna be Singularity DAO speaker, the CEO of it, and now we have Janet Adams too. So that's good. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna do my ambassadorship. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, cheers for that. That sounds brilliant.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, one last thing I just want to say: if any of you ever get to speak to Janet Adams, and this is how I know this whole thing's going to be way more successful, because she is on a cellular level the most positively infectious person I have ever met in my entire life. And I told her if I ever win an award, I want her to introduce me, because the words and her vocabulary and just the injection of happiness she puts into anything is incredible.
Wow, that's quite an accolade. Yeah, so maybe we can hear from people next week about other conferences and stuff, that, you know, or the second day of this, Kevin. That'd be ace. But I noticed that we are just over the hour slot. So thanks so much, everyone, for being here. Don't forget that the next town hall is Tuesday, the 3rd of December. And don't also forget to do your consent forms and take part in governance. You find all the information you need in the budget planner, which I've just linked again in the chat. And there you'll find the link to the context setting document and the consent form and everybody's budgets and everybody's quarterly reports. So get in there, let's support each other and let's go yay for the work that everyone's doing, which we've heard about tonight. Thanks, everybody. Unless anyone's got any last comments, I'm going to draw it to a close.
Bye, everybody. Things are getting exciting. We're rocking in there.